So make it easy. Basically, there's this core concept in coaching and also just in business generally, um, which is we want to reduce friction. What do I mean by reduce friction? That means we want to reduce the number of steps we need to go through in order to do the habit. The best way, the simplest example I can give you for Quran, before we do a Quran example, a way of reducing friction is be in your workout clothes, right? You get home, instead of changing into your pajamas, change into your workout clothes. Immediately, you've reduced the friction to doing the workout. There's this gym in the Netherlands where I live right now, and I think there's a couple of branches of this organization in the UK, but in the Netherlands, it's a really big thing, and it's called Fit 20. And the idea of this gym is you can get fit in 20 minutes a week. You go in and you do one resistance training workout where you exhaust each muscle group one by one by doing super slow weightlifting. So it's like 10 seconds to lift the weight, 10 seconds to lower the weight. So it's super slow, but you're fully, thoroughly exhausting the muscle, and then you're moving on to the next muscle group. And you do like half a dozen muscle groups, a couple of minutes each, and then it's basically within 20 minutes, your whole workout is done. But what I loved about this system, one thing that makes it easy is that it's only one time a week that you need to go, because you'll notice if you weight train very, very thoroughly once a week, you get stronger each week. But the other thing I loved about it is you can go walk in with your normal clothes on, do the workout with your normal clothes on, and walk out. And you'll be like, how's that possible? It's a gym workout, right? You're exhausting all of your muscles, but you usually don't really break into a full sweat. Right? In fact, I don't sweat at all when I do this. I'm like shaking at the end because my muscle is like, what the heck did you just do to me? But they managed to reduce friction by making it so that you go in, you walk around, you do one exercise in each machine, and you walk out in 20 minutes with a personal trainer there the whole time. It's a brilliant system, but what makes it brilliant is it reduces friction because it's only once a week and you can keep your clothes on as you're doing it, which all of us working out at home now, is a thing to keep in mind. Now, for the Quran, the simplest way to do this is always be in wudu. How can you always be in wudu? Basically, every time you go to the bathroom, you do wudu when you leave the bathroom. Very simple. It's the first and easiest habit that makes prayer and Quran super easy. Most of the time, if you're trying to get yourself to pray or you're trying to get yourself into the Quran habit, a friction barrier that comes up is, oh, I don't have wudu, so I can't touch the Quran. Oh, I don't have wudu, so I can't pray. Well, always keep yourself in a state of wudu. And if you actually can't be in wudu, guess what? You still want to reduce friction by having a backup method of studying the Quran that doesn't require wudu. For example, reading the English translation, for example, reading a tafsir, for example, listening to a tafsir in audio, for example, listening to the Quran doesn't require wudu. So you want to have a backup. But the idea is you want to get rid of that friction of not having wudu. Another way to make it easy, again, is looking at the environment. And you'll notice a theme, one of the big themes. This psychology that we're looking at is actually, right now, it's behavioral psychology. Installing a habit is what we call behavioral psychology, which is how do I get myself to change my behavior? The deep psychology we're going to do in part 3 of this course isn't really behavioral, although it does have an impact on your behavior, but in a different way, as you'll discover later, right? But you'll notice when it comes to behavioral psychology, a lot of it is to do with priming your environment, changing your environment, right? Make it easy for your future self to take action by doing certain things to your environment. For example, have the Quran everywhere where you might want to or have the opportunity to read it. For example, having an easy app like Quran Explorer on your phone, or have your favorite reciter downloaded onto your phone so you can listen to it whenever you want. Or get the Kindle version of the best Quran translation, have that on your phone, and have your favorite Quran reciter either downloaded or in your or on an app, right? Either way, the idea is you have your phone on you all the time. Have the Quran on it, right? Just make it so that the Quran can be on your phone. I don't prefer this. I prefer that you actually disconnect and put your phone, make sure you can put your phone on airplane mode as you do all your Quran activities, if you are going to do them on the phone. But the point is, your phone is always on you. So if you put the Quran on your phone, the Quran is always available to you. That's a way to make it easy and reduce friction. Another way of priming the environment is, very important. as you prime your environment and you're designing these things and making the Quran available on your phone and keeping Quran translations everywhere, as you're doing all these things, do it intentionally and not randomly, right? You want to keep your daily Quran habit in line with the method of study that you're trying to do, which will be one of the 10 methods of study that we're going to cover in part 2 of this course. So if you're in the phase where you're reading the English translation, that's your objective, is to read the English translation, having the Arabic Quran on your phone isn't actually helpful for the step that you're on. You need to have the English Quran on your phone because that's what you're trying to achieve. So it's very simple, but people often get tripped up. Like they're trying to do the Quran habit. It feels like you're doing something positive, but now your aim is to read the Quran translation in English as step 1 or step 2, but you are unable to do it now because you've only got the Arabic Quran on your phone, and vice versa. If you're trying to read the Quran in Arabic, but only the English is on your phone, you run into the same problem. Okay, another way of making it super easy, the 2-minute rule. The 2-minute rule. Downscale your Quran habit into something you can do in 2 minutes. We're like, you can't do anything in 2 minutes. Yes, you can. You can read a page of the Quran in Arabic in 2 minutes. And you're like, no, I can't. It takes me like 20 minutes to read a page of the Quran in Arabic. Okay, don't worry. That's going to be covered in step 4 of the part 2 of this course, right? How to improve your fluency. But in 2 minutes, you can read a couple of pages of the English translation in 2 minutes. And look, the point is, it doesn't matter how much you do in 2 minutes. The point is that you start the habit of touching the Quran and engaging with the Quran every day. You might say 2 minutes is too little, but we're going to get to that later in this presentation. Make it easy. Another way is to automate your Quran ritual. So maybe you have the main aim of your focus of study, but then you have a backup that links with something you already do. So a basic example here is maybe you decide you want to wake up, and as you get ready, before you leave the house and go to work, that's when you're going to do the Quran habit. But one day you wake up late and you're in a rush, and now you're on the way to work. Well, you want to have a backup method of study it's not ideal necessarily, but it's still something that you can do. So if I have to, for whatever reason, miss Quran recitation and memorization, then what I'll do is, as I'm on the move, as I'm walking to the shops, or as I'm walking around that day, I'll have the audio version of the section of the Quran that I was meant to memorize playing, or I'll have the audio of Quran that I've already memorized and I'm trying to revise, I'll have that playing. So the idea is you have a backup that's not the real habit, but it's it's like a fallback, right? And if you want to know the way to structure this, there's 2 things. One is the minimal habit that you're trying to install, and this is what we call in Arabic, the scholars of spirituality. What they do is they break up all of your daily recitations and your daily dhikr and Quran. They break it into 2 different things. One is what they call your wird. Your wird is something you do at a set time every day, no matter what, like a soldier. And that's the thing I'm telling you to make really small at the beginning. Make it 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, but you don't break it. Every day you do it like a soldier. That's the new habit we're installing. And right now it's going to be small. Eventually, inshallah, if we can turn that into 15, 20, and 30 minutes, if we get that soldier-like every day, no matter what, I do this, if we can turn that into a 30-minute thing, then all your Quran goals become absolutely inevitable. But don't go for 30 minutes now. Go for 3 minutes and build it up. Absolutely trust me on this. So that's the first thing, is your wird. The second thing, you're not meant to just remember Allah during a certain time of day. You're meant to remember Allah all day, every day. So this automating your Quran ritual backup method, it's not your wird, which is the set timing of recitations that you do every day, no matter what. It's an additional thing, which is outside of your set recitation, outside of your set daily Quran habit. Anything you do to touch the Quran or engage with the Quran is a good thing, and you do as much as you want or as little as you want, but keep it to what you want. Okay, so if you find yourself just bored and you're on a 4-hour car journey, then maybe you play the Quran. Is that your daily Quran habit? No, it's not your wird of absolute firm set no matter what. It's not the daily Quran ritual that we're talking about. It's like additional extras that you're doing during the day. Hopefully that's clear. And examples of this backup method are, if no matter what you're doing, maybe you have a backup on your phone of the Bayna podcast, so you can just listen to a bit of tafsir. Listening to sections of the Quran on repeat that you already know, or sections that you're trying to learn, just listening to them on repeat. This is like a backup. If you enjoyed this video and want the full Quran for Busy People system to transform your connection with the Quran in as little as 11 minutes a day, go to quranforbusypeople.com and check out the free web class.